Imagine, it's the mid-2010s and your niece has a birthday next week. What would you buy her? Well, there would be only one clear option, and the name is Shopkins. One of the best-selling toys of all time, practically every toy retailer had a whole aisle dedicated to these little fellas, and you simply could not escape them. But now, if you were to walk into those exact same stores, you couldn't find them anywhere. Shopkins? Shopkins? What happened? To find out exactly what went wrong, we have to first rewind the clock back to 2013, where we find Aussie toy manufacturer Moose Toys riding the success of their latest brand, Trash Pack, a series of small, gross-looking, collectible figures that had exploded in popularity. Having seen the success, Moose Toys realized the potential in a series of collectible characters that would appeal to both girls and boys, something that would do extremely well. The first patents were filed for Shopkins in April of 2013, with development continuing into early 2014 and the first season finally dropping in June of that year. With nearly 150 individual characters to collect, these Shopkins were based off of everyday goods that could be purchased in any run-of-the-mill supermarket, with such themes including fruits, vegetables, baked goods, frozen goods, and even beauty supplies. There was also a rarity system for each character, which went from common to rare, super rare, special edition, and limited edition, with said limited edition's production numbers being as low as only a couple hundred, the rarest at only 100 examples ever made. They would be sold in packs of 2, 5, briefly 10, a dozen, and 20. To complement these little figures, an assortment of playsets were also sent out to store shelves. No surprise, the first season was a huge hit, and stores couldn't keep them in stock, not in any small part due to their huge appeal to children, with their bright, vibrant colors and unique designs for each individual character. On top of that, they offered tons of play value. They could be traded with friends, and the fact that there were so many to collect kept people coming back for more. Plus, it didn't hurt that they were quite affordable. The huge success was an instant green light for the production of further series, and oh boy, would it go on for quite some time. A total of 17 different seasons would go on to be produced from 2014 till 2023, a whole 9 years. Here's a quick rundown. Season 2 dropped just in time for the 2014 Christmas season, bringing with it a bunch of new themes, including homewares, shoes, cleaning products, and baby supplies. Season 2 was also the first season in which Shopkins had eyebrows. Make of that as you will. Following that, Season 3 lands in June of 2015, dragging in stationery, international foods, and hats, along with a jewelry theme for the limited editions. Based off of personal experience, Season 3 appears to have been the most sold Shopkins season, though I haven't actually found any solid evidence to back this up as of now. Continuing onwards, these first 3 seasons are often considered the original Shopkins, with all seasons being able to be broken down in about 5 distinct sections, with seasons 4 through 6 being the mid-period. Season 4 dropped in December of 2015, with its huge new introduction being Petkins, Shopkins with animal features and characteristics. On top of that, more new themes were added as well: party time, pet accessories, garden supplies, and perfume-themed limited editions. Petkins continued into the following Season 5, which released in May of the following year, though instead of being their own team, they were just mixed into the standard themes. Speaking of which, both sports and music join in, alongside charm Shopkins, which could be worn on bracelets, toys as the limited editions, which means nobody can get the official Shopkin Lego knockoff brick. Highly unfortunate, I know. And who could forget the super rad glow-in-the-dark electronics? Quick tangent, I used to think Percy PC was impossible to find, which makes sense, highlight of the season and all, but the second I finally got one a couple months ago, I suddenly wind up attaining 4 more on top of that first one. Murphy's Law moment or something? Anyway, tangent over. Season 6 explodes onto the 2016 Christmas scene, with a cooking theme referred to as the Chef Club, in which you could use certain ingredient Shopkins to complete a recipe and make a different Shopkin, like a cupcake or ramen noodles. Another unique feature, all of these Shopkins now had mini QR codes on their bottoms, so they could be scanned in the Chef Club app, which was released alongside. Also, the Peckins were dropped, being moved over to their own series, Happy Place, though that's its own story. Continuing into 2017, we encountered the cool era of Shopkins, with Season 7 being completely party-themed, and new stackable Topkins being introduced, kind of like We Bare Bears, but party food. And then there's Season 8, World Vacation, which actually released in 3 waves, Europe Tour, Asian Exploration, and the Americas. The cool new quirky Shopkins this time were bag charms, which were kinda like Season 5 charms, but now there are famous landmarks, such as Big Ben, Eiffel Tower, and 2006 Ford Crown Victoria taxi cab. On top of that, the limited editions are now snow globes. What a bonus! 2018 would go on to bring on the Wild era, with none other than Season 9 Wild Style, not to be confused with Lego Movie character, introducing tribes instead of the regular teams. Each tribe would have its own unique style, with both new and returning characters, as well as a unique Shop-It, horrifying creatures of which we don't speak about, and a Shoppy. Did I forget to mention Shoppies? Yeah, they were here all along. Those that were sold alongside the Shopkins and existed in the same universe, but they are their own rabbit hole that I'll have to leave for another time. More back on point though, clearly the best tribe was the sweet and squishy tribe that were all baked goods, but squishy, just like Grocery Gang. Season 10 mini packs jumped in May, consisting of returning Shopkins from the original 3 seasons, but now with slightly tweaked designs and coins stamped on their backs. They were also sold in unique food packaging for the first time, something that would continue on through all seasons to come, including the following Season 11. It would be released with the theme being Shopkin families, with each family having 5 unique members, each their own little theme. But now, we come across the final era, the Real Littles era, in which Moose Toys noticed that Zuru's mini brands were doing exceptionally well, and were like, okay, we're going to do that now, but with Shopkins. Everybody likes Shopkins. So for the first time, starting with Season 12 in August 2019, the new Shopkins Real Littles were actual licensed products. However, this was also the downfall period, as continuing all the way to Season 17, there wouldn't be much change in anything other than the licensed brands. Seasons would even have characters from past Real Little seasons mixed in. The only real notable things that happened here were in Season 14, when the Shopkins name was briefly dropped from the Real Littles, only to be brought back for Season 16, and Season 15 having icy characters, clearly the peak of humanity. Come July of 2023 though, the 2020s had taken a toll on all of us, but little did we know, the worst had yet to happen. Moose Toys would go on to state that they would no longer produce the Shopkin series of toys. A huge tragedy. Why now though? Well, there were definitely a few factors involved. The number of characters per series had dropped dramatically with the Real Littles, going as low as only 40 per batch. Another big factor was the price had gone up by a lot over the years, with reasons for that including the unique packaging requiring more resources to produce, the lack of color variations meaning molds couldn't be easily reused, and of course inflation forcing prices up. And don't forget, this was all while the 2020s was still raging outside. Nobody could easily go run down to the store and pick up a new package of Shopkins. We were having a hard enough time finding toilet paper as it was. But you've also got to factor in that Shopkins had been in production for a really long time now, and so many ideas had already been covered that there wasn't much more new to do with the brand. And Moose Toys, being the company that they were ready to move on to the next big toy, whatever that might be. Now if you still really want your Shopkins, well great news! Though your regular grocery store won't be carrying them anytime soon, thrift stores like Goodwill will often have bulk Shopkins, though slightly used, for great prices, as Shopkins are one of those toys people are basically throwing out as they peaked a little while back, and most of the young ones who got them as birthday presents are now struggling in minimum wage jobs. But if you have a fear of brick and mortar, then check out such high-end websites as eBay. But now is that part of the show where I have to give a quick shout out to all of the other Shopkin merch and spin-offs. First up, there's a whole lot of mini seasons, mostly done for holidays like Christmas and Easter, as well as just small themes in which a mix of returning and new Shopkins would be used, like a cooking fair theme. I also briefly mentioned the Happy Places, Shoppies, and Shoppets, but were you aware of Cutie Cars, the Shopkins version of Hot Wheels? Or what about Little Secrets, the Shopkins version of Polly Pocket? Wait a minute, is Moose just copying Mattel now? Then there's Kindy Kids, basically Shoppies, but now they're little toddlers to help little kids grow up into the Shopkins empire. And there's also a Kindy Kids Minis, which sounds like the same thing, but with a higher choking hazard level. There were books, magazines, clothing, collector's cards, knockoff Lego, McDonald's Happy Meals, there was even an actual Shopkins cereal. Then there was the iconic cartoon series on YouTube, which is your average child propaganda. I mean, it isn't bad or anything, it more of just exists.
And now a word from our sponsors.
New Cheesy Cheese, now available in pink. Not actually available in pink.
There were also a bunch of apps, though they've all been taken down in the past few years, which is unfortunate. But now, we get onto the most important piece of Shopkins history of all time. This is truly the peak. The Shopkins movie! No wait, hold on, my mistake. There's two movies. No, hold on. There's 3 movies. 3 movies! In October of 2016, Universal released an animated movie in partnership with Moose Toys, bringing the highly acclaimed Shopkins Chef Club, the movie, released straight onto DVD. Ah, consumerism at its finest. It would later be followed up by such beloved sequels as Shopkins World Vacation, the movie, and Shopkins Wild Style, the movie, released 2017 and 2018 respectively. I'll also admit, I haven't watched any of these. Though, if you do want me to review them, let me know. You might be interesting. Shopkins will be fondly remembered by many as being those adorable little food items that brought them through their childhood, bringing joy to many. It really was one of the biggest toys of its time. I mean, just look up Shopkins unboxing videos. It was crazy. Will we ever see Shopkins again? Well, nobody can predict the future, least of all economists. But I do honestly think that we will see them again. I mean, Moose has relaunched Mighty Beans twice, so who's to say Shopkins couldn't be next? But for the time being, we'll have to settle for what we already have in that one box in our basement or attic, and reminisce about the good old days, back when Shopkins were the hottest collectible toy. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, click the like button, hit the subscribe, and ding the little bell, as we've got a whole lot more coming your way. And as always, remember to be kind to retail employees, and have a great day.